It's not a once-in-a-century earthquake. It's this goddamn tauntaun.
Oh,
He almost
okay.
took out the entire studio. My shit's still crooked. Hang on. There we go.
That's what happens when we get sent 4 foot tall tauntauns.
I don't give a crap. People can send 4 foot tall tauntauns all day long. I'll play with them.
Yes.
I will play with my tauntaun all day long.
I don't even have a tauntaun in my
That's the tauntaun for all you iTunes listeners. That's
Yes.
the sound a tauntaun makes.
I have a drink that I'm going to call the tauntaun.
You're gonna call it the tauntaun?
Yes.
Is it because it smells bad on the outside?
And it tastes like shit on the inside, too.
There we go. Well, fuck.
It's got a lot of vodka in it. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, you know what? I have a drink too, because it has been that kind of week.
Yes. I
Geek-
very much agree with you on that.
The Geek Dad Report home office has been in utter chaos this week, which we will talk lots about on the show. But while me and Ryan drink, I'll just play the music.
Hmm.
Guess what? It's time to start the show.
Yay!
Oh, we them bad boys. Sip the cane, yeah. C's, the MC7, for the aces. Let's go. Money market.
Whew.
Mine
Well,
was
people-
like pure vodka at the bottom.
This is not really a very manly drink that I'm drinking tonight, but whatever.
Hey, I had raspberry vodka with grape juice.
That's pretty funny. This is raspberry, I don't know, blueberry water mix with vodka. I was going to do the scotch, but a small glass of scotch was not nearly enough for this week.
Yeah, I think I put about this much vodka in the glass. It's just been one of those weeks where it's like, oh man, I get so much coursework from one of my graduate classes, and the kids are a pain in the ass.
This is like a big sigh, man. I feel you. I tell you what, man. Come here. Big internet hug, buddy. Come here.
I need a hug.
There's a big, I'm sending it out to you, a big internet hug just for you.
Thank you.
My number one guy.
Thank you.
You're very welcome.
God, fucking stupid microphone. Stop falling over.
Well, as everyone can hear and see, Ryan is in a mood tonight, which I don't really blame him. We will probably talk a little bit tonight about our weeks, which have been really crappy. Unfortunately, well, not really crappy in the grand scheme of things, just kind of shitty in general.
Busy.
Just busy.
Yeah.
You know, when you're a parent, when you're a geek dad, and you wear multiple hats like podcaster, entertainment mogul icons, and general workforce people. Ryan's in school, making papers and learning shit. I mean, he's like a rogue scholar. I mean, he's almost got his PhD in BS and philosophy.
Yes. Or contract management.
Yeah, that sounds way boring though. You should say you
I know,
are
I don't wanna
majoring
say
in life studies.
yes.
Me, I am a learned master in the ways of the force.
I'm math.
I just wanted to pull out my lightsaber and play with it. We told everybody on iTunes that we were playing with our lightsaber, so I have mine. Ryan, pull out your lightsaber. Here we go. This is the best way to deal with a week like this, is to drink and play with your lightsaber.
It's a good day to play with your lightsabers.
All right, well, we ramble enough about our crappy lives. Actually, our lives are pretty awesome. We just kind of had when you live in the real world and you're parents and you are busy like we are, sometimes you have weeks that are kind of down. So if me and Ryan at any point in this show ramble into a drunken stupor, well, it's what we do. It's what real people do. And we are real people, I think. Yeah.
You know why? Because you've been there. You're a parent, if you are. So, other than that, life's good, right?
Yeah,
So
pretty
they
much.
say.
Oh, well, we'll just...
I say cheer.
Yeah, well, let's just start the show, I guess. So, our Geek Dad moments, we're just going to... I have a terrible... That was a bad transition. I don't really give a crap.
Yeah, that was shitty.
That was really... Should I start over again?
No, let's just roll with it.
Yeah, anyway, so being a real parent, and we're real people, sometimes life just those are busy weeks and you just got to deal with it. But that being said, as always, there's always some fun Geek Dad moments for being parents, and me and Ryan, we're going to talk about them. Ryan,
Yes.
do you have a Geek Dad moment? I am sucking at the transitions today. That was awful, too.
God, you're doing terrible. I honestly, like, other than like walking in on my son at 6 o'clock in the morning, because he wakes up before everybody else, and all he does, he's like goes straight downstairs and he turns on Star Wars Clone Wars,
Nice.
and he's already on like season 3, and I don't even know like. I ask him sometimes, what time do you wake up at? He's like, oh, I just woke up. And I'm like, well, since you've gone through like 3 episodes, so you must have got up like a little bit earlier than you were telling me. So I mean, it's kind of like a proud thing that he's crazy into the Star Wars Clone Wars. I mean, but I haven't watched him, so I'm kind of sad because he's like way farther than I am on him. But yeah, I would say that's probably my Geek Dad moment of the week is waking up and my son's already up and he's watching Star Wars Clone Wars because he wants to get caught up on the whole damn thing. So
Nice. Well, congratulations, Ryan. You have created a Star Wars monster. Yes.
yeah, I'm very proud of it.
Tauntaun Luke Skywalker salutes you.
Thank you, Luke. What about you? Do you got any good stuff that happened this week? I know you had a fun weekend.
Yeah, I actually had a great weekend. We and the family went up to Whistler for a 3-day weekend for a friend's surprise 30th birthday party. We rented this like the fattest lodge I've ever stayed in my entire life. It was like 10,000 square feet.
Wait, fat as in PHAT, right?
Yeah, PHAT. It was definitely pretty hot and tempting. It had like 7 bedrooms and like 9 bathrooms, 2
What?
kitchens. Dude, it was insane. But no, we had a really good time. Took the kids up there and went sledding and inner tubing. And if anybody's never been to Whistler, if you live up in this area, it is an amazing place. I've been there a whole bunch of times. One of the perks of living in Washington, it's only about a 5-hour drive. So, but it was fun. We had a good time.
Snow.
Yeah, lots of snow. They had the best inner tubing lanes I've ever seen. Like, it looks like, imagine a bowling alley that goes straight down, but for inner tubes.
That sounds good.
It was because the temperature was just warm enough that it would melt everything and freeze it. They had closed down most of the lanes because they had to put all this. They have these traction pads that stop you so you don't like blow off the mountain. And even then, they had to. You look at the bottom, and the whole thing is just lined with these. You get on this thing, and you are seriously flying. I mean, you're just like, holy crap, this is way too fast. But you know what? Both my daughters were troopers, and they did it, and I was very proud of them, and they did it with no fear. It was pretty funny. So I got delayed by the register person. And so nobody wanted to wait on me, so they all started to go up the mountain. So I got about halfway up the little, they have like a conveyor belt that takes you to the top. So I'm about halfway up the conveyor belt when I see my oldest starting to go down the mountain. And it was great because I got the perfect vantage point because it was her first time doing it. And I got to see the look of sheer terror on her face when she first started. Like,
Yeah.
oh my God,
Shooting at
what
the
am I
very
doing?
top, watching her go down. You're getting to see like the actual reaction shot.
Yeah, I got the whole. It was perfect because every other time once she knew she could do it, she was totally fine. I mean, she did it 5-6 times, but the very first time it was that moment of I'm gonna die. What the hell did I just do? And it was, and I'm sitting there. I'm like, I'm a proud dad because I see her like trying to gut it out, and she's like, I'm like, woo! It was pretty cool. So it was that fun dad moment, not necessarily like geek dad moment, but that fun dad moment when you see your kid brave fear, look it dead in the eyes and say, fuck you, fear, I am gonna not listen to you and just do it anyway. So it was pretty
And you
cool.
didn't have to like shove her like down the thing.
Yeah, no crying, no tears. Didn't have to kick him down the mountain. They did it all on their own. And then, of course, my youngest, Chuck, being Chuck, she wouldn't even get out of the inner tube. She made me pull the inner tube all the way up the mountain, pull her to the starting point, and she's just sitting there like, yeah, I'm a boss. I ain't moving. And then she went down completely emotionless, just like, down the mountain.
Like, oh, that wasn't scary enough.
Yeah, for those of you who are privileged enough to know my youngest daughter, you know what I'm talking about. That kid is a gangster.
She is pure gangster.
She's pure
honestly.
gangster. So anyway, nothing crazy geeky, but it was a fun dad moment. So I guess that would be my dad moment of the week.
Woo!
Yeah. Well,
So if anybody else has, moments of the week that they want to let us know, or maybe we could talk about on the show or something like that, just shoot us a message or leave us a comment or something like that. And, we love hearing other people's moments too. So,
yeah.
you know it happens.
Yeah, we also live in the digital video age. Send us a little video, a little 15-second video of your dad moment. And we'll play it on air for you if that's what you like.
Yes,
so
that's a good idea.
We are a show of the people, and we want to know all of your Geek Dad stories so we can all talk about them together and relate. It's
or moms. There are some geek moms I know that listen to
us. And geek moms, you're right. Thank you, Ryan. We do not only want geek dads to tell their stories. We want moms, dads. If you're a grandparent, you're listening to our show, we'll take your stories, aunt, uncles, whatever. Any fun stories you have with your kids that you think others would like to hear, we definitely would like to hear them. So feel free to send them to us, and we will listen and laugh at them with you, or we will play them on air if that's what you want, or we will also read them. So let us know what you'd like us to do with them and send them.
So I think with that, we should now go into Ninja News.
Ninja News! You ready? Ready for the theme song, Ryan? Here we go. Ready?
Yeah.
Ninja News time! Go Ninja! Go Ninja! Ha!
Yeah!
Yeah! Hua! Yeah!
The
can defend Ninja News punch.
Let's see how fast we can ninja through this news.
It's a double punch. I really feel like we should ask Vanilla Ice for a refund for all the money we gave him for the other stuff, because I feel like we are way better than him.
I think, what was it, like that? I put like 2 pennies in an envelope, and I just wrote Vanilla Ice on the front, and I put it in the mailbox. So I'm pretty sure that's how you send it to him.
I actually threw $1.50 out my window, and he actually came flying out of the bushes, grabbed it, and then jumped back into the bushes. He was gone.
He's that up for money right now, huh?
Oh my God! I was thinking of a little side note. I was thinking of
Adam Sandler movie. It wasn't as good as he thought it was going to be.
Did you ever watch? Oh God, That's My Boy, the Adam Sandler movie where he had like a kid when he was like 8 or something, or 10. It was one of those movies that was kind of a spoof of all the teachers having sex with their students. It's I don't know. It's funny. It's real lowbrow humor, but it's got a great cameo.
Really? Adam Sandler with a lowbrow humor?
Yeah, it's real lowbrow humor. It's one of Sandler's. I think it might be one of his only rated R movies, but it has a great cameo of Vanilla Ice playing himself. So that alone is worth it. And he tries to ask Vanilla Ice for a loan, and Vanilla Ice goes, "Shit." He goes, "I have to pay." He goes, from that Vanilla Ice song, Ice Ice Baby, he goes, "I have to pay Suge Knight half. I have to pay Queen half." He goes, every time they play that shit on the radio, I owe somebody money. It's way funnier in the movie than I just did it, but it's pretty funny.
Yes.
All right. Anyway, Ninja News time. Hiya, hiya, go Ninja go. Star Wars Episode 9, little movie everyone might have heard is coming in the next few years. The director, Colin Trevorrow, thank you. That's what you're here for. Good name pulls. Also known as the Jurassic World director. I know he did something else, but I don't remember what it is. So he came out today and says he wants to film the movie on actual film. The new rage is to film everything on digital. Some people love it, some people hate it. The last episode 7 was filmed on real film. Gives it an actual movie quality versus a video game quality, and that's kind of why he said he wanted to do it. He didn't want his movie to look like it was a video game. That's not too surprising. Episode 8 is going to be shot on film, and 9. In fact, the only Star Wars movie right now that's scheduled to be filmed digitally is Rogue One, so we'll see how that looks compared to Episode 7.
It'll be interesting to see how that turns out.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what the comparison is. We'll have to actually, maybe one of these days we'll have Matt on, one of our writers over at Watch Play Read. He's also an amateur filmmaker, and he loves cameras and talking about them. So maybe we'll have him on one of these days and talk about the difference between film and digital and IMAX and all the beautiful film work.
He can get us all learned.
Yeah, he can learn us. He can learn us something. If you guys would like to have our friend Matt on talking about cameras, let us know. We'll definitely have him on. But the interesting part about the article that came out about him wanting to shoot on film is not just what he wants to shoot on, it's where he wants to shoot.
He wants to shoot on location.
Yeah, so Colin is is dedicated to shooting Star Wars on location. And since a lot of his movies in space, he wants to shoot in space.
I think that putting him up in a SpaceX rocket or whatever, the Russian thing is, and letting him film in space would be a great idea.
You know what? All I have to say is I totally support this idea. I don't really care. I don't know much about it. I'm sure it's probably not that weird of a phenomenon. I think parts of Interstellar was filmed in space, and I think Gravity, some of that was filmed in space. But I don't really give a crap. I think that's awesome. So, Colin Trevorrow, we approve you shooting in space.
Yes.
Star Wars Battlefront, a pretty cool Star Wars themed video game, has shipped 13 million copies. So apparently I was not the only one who thought Star Wars Battlefront was awesome.
If I get an upgraded console, I'll buy it.
You should. I play all the time. If you guys ever want to play with me, Jedi Killer 153. Hopefully we explode and we get 9 billion listeners and I get 30,000 friend invites. But if you guys want to play with me, I play Battlefront all the time. If you do play like I do, some of the problems the game has had can be frustrating. Luckily for us, EA has decided that they are going to patch some of those things. They just recently announced that this January, so before the end of the month, they are going to send a massive update. It's going to see some new maps, some new locations, some new multiplayer modes. Luke is going to get a new Hoth outfit. Han's going to get some new outfits. So you're going to have some cool stuff like that, but they're also going to fix some of the bugs that have plagued this game. Some of the recharge rates of the ships where they recharge too fast and you get over-powerful ships. Some of the heroes like Han Solo and Boba Fett especially, their long-distance damage is ridiculous. You go up against them and you die immediately. So it's just a few things that they're going to fix. It's nice to know that Battlefront's listening to some of the complaints and they're going to fix some of the problems with the game to make it a funner experience. But if you are not playing Battlefront, I recommend it. It's a lot of fun. It does not have a story mode, so just FYI, but the game itself is pretty fun in multiplayer mode. More Star Wars news, since that's all we'd ever talk about on the show, because we love Star Wars. Sorry, I'm just stalling while I move my notes. Harrison Ford. People might know who that guy is. It's this guy right here. Spoiler alert, he's dead. So
he died.
Not Harrison Ford, but this guy right here. If you know who that is, you know what I'm talking about. That is not episode 7 is not the last we are going to see of him though, because he is going to be hosting a special Disneyland 60th anniversary show on ABC. February 22nd, they're going to be doing a special talking about all the wonderful things about Disneyland, and he's going to be unveiling all the new details for the Star Wars land that they are going to be opening in Disneyland. So, I know we talked about on the show. Not much news here, nothing new. They're going to be quartering off a whole section and turning it into Star Wars universe, so I don't know.
It's going to be freaking ginormous, apparently.
It's going to be huge. I've seen some plans for it. I don't know if we posted them on our Facebook page, but we'll try and get a hold of them. But if you Google them, you can find them. It is going to be a massive renovation and expansion. So, anyway, Mr. Han Solo himself is going to be on TV showing us all the cool things that we can expect, and I don't know. I'll be watching it. I don't give a crap. I don't know. There's been no time on it, but like I said, February 21st on ABC. Check it out and at least DVR it. So, on to some DC news here. I don't even know how to say it. So, Batman v Superman, which has been talked about to death. I'm almost tired of talking about it. I'm just really excited to see the movie. But this is one little bit of information that I kind of did want to talk about. This is the first thing that has me going, I hope this isn't 100% accurate. So Batman v Superman producer Charles Roven had an interesting interview with Empire Magazine where he said that Batman will actually become an executioner in the film. He said that Batman is not giving a chance to people not giving people a chance. He's more not a vigilante anymore, but I totally butchered that. Let's see here. He said, I wrote the quote. All right, fuck it. I'm not going to read it. Basically, he said that he's not just a vigilante anymore. He's not going to give people a chance to screw up again, that he is more than a cop. He's going to be an executioner. So
he's like Judge Dredd?
Yeah, they actually referred to him as Judge Dredd. And, I have no problem with Superman killing Zod in the Man of Steel. Spoiler alert, but I don't care if you haven't seen it. It's your own fault. But I do have a problem if Batman becomes a murderer in Batman v Superman.
It doesn't sound very Batman to me.
Yeah, maybe he's referring to, I don't know. I know the nightmare scene that everyone's referenced a lot that has Batman and Superman being evil. Maybe Batman kills people there. Maybe it's not really. Maybe it's what Batman will become if unchecked.
Yeah.
The problem, you know what? Here's my problem. So, first of all, Batman does become a killer. That is completely against his character. And Superman, it was understandable why he killed Zod. But if Batman just becomes this murdering psychopath, you know, the whole point of Batman was that not killing is what separated him from the criminals that he hunted. Because really, Batman's a psychopath.
Yeah, I really hope this producer isn't one of the guys that get to make a lot of the decisions, because that sounds like a really bad idea, and it's going to turn off a lot of people.
Honestly, if I was Warner Brothers at this point, on a little side note, if I was Warner Brothers, if you're listening, I'm going to give you a little piece of advice. Put a gag order on every goddamn person who's involved in making this movie except for Zack Snyder and maybe Ben Affleck. Everyone else needs to shut their mouth. I'm tired of hearing from costume designers and like the janitor,
producers,
and the craft services food truck handler. I mean, every single person.
Was pretty scandalous when the food handlers came out and stuff.
Yeah, Ben Affleck ate a dark seed sandwich. You know what that means, right? What? I mean, this movie has been done for a while, and unfortunately, because they pushed the date, you know, to meet whatever deadline they or wherever they wanted it to premiere. Yeah. It has given a lot of people a lot of time to talk about this movie, and unfortunately, I think this is some of the crap we're seeing. Is you get a lot of people, you know, executive, third producer, you know, second grip, who's spilling a lot of stuff that maybe we don't need to know. So, I'm excited. This movie comes out in March. It's not that far away, but Warner Brothers, please, for the love of God, have people stop talking about this movie.
Yes. Shut your mouth. Stop making trailers.
Yeah.
And
we'll be there. We'll be there. Just TV spots, replay the trailers you've already shown us, and we're going to be there. Other than that, tell the janitor to shut his stinking hole. And we don't care about, you know, the bat pee that he's mopping up. I don't want to know about it. No more. I don't want to hear about Aquaman peed on set. No more.
Well, I think the next thing that we have to talk about is probably just as bad.
Oh my God. Yeah, DC, what are you doing right now? So DC released some images today and some news that they're going to be rebooting, I don't know what you call it, redoing the Hanna-Barbera universe, which if you don't know Hanna-Barbera, it's the Flintstones, it's Scooby-Doo, I think it's the Jetsons.
Yogi Bear,
all those comics. So DC's redoing all of them in new comic form, and they're giving them all a massive updated facelift, which on the surface sounds like, oh, that's cool, until you see the images of what they're doing.
Yeah, like Shaggy from Scooby-Doo has like tribal tattoos and shit.
No, not Shaggy. Shaggy has tattoos. He has a sleeve, but he's got like a hipster beard.
Oh yeah, that's right.
He's wearing plaid. Fred has a tribal tattoo.
Mm-hmm.
Vilma is like 2 feet tall.
Yeah, and she's like an alien.
And who's the redhead? I can't remember her name.
Daphne.
Daphne's all like super like got a big gun, and she's all dolled up.
She has like armor on or something.
Yeah, and Scooby's wearing like these metal. You know what? We're gonna post it. I hadn't had a chance to post it. It just came out today. We've been super busy, like we said earlier. So I haven't had a chance to post the pictures. I will post them on our Facebook page so you can check them out. It looks like a train wreck to me, which is really strange considering they've been drawn by Jim Lee, who usually does great characters and artwork. So I'm really confused. They look like a rock band from Portland, and not like a good rock band, like a bad rock band from Portland.
Yeah, if I showed it to my son, who is obsessed with Scooby-Doo, like he likes the old school Scooby-Doo. Mm-hmm. He's got like the first, I don't know how many seasons on DVD. And if I showed it to him, I bet he wouldn't even know who the fuck they were. So,
yeah, I don't know. I'm not a fan. I mean, obviously, you never want to judge a book by its cover, but this artwork is definitely
the Flintstones too, and the Flintstones look. They don't look as bad as the Scooby-Doo cast, but
the Flintstones. Part of the draw of the Flintstones were they didn't look like real people to an extent. I mean, they were kind of exaggerated features and exaggerated characters, and basically they're now drawn as real people, and they look kind of creepy, honestly. Fred looks like a I don't know.
He looks like someone that would murder, like
Yeah, I mean,
it's
they
like a
just
mean Italian.
I don't. Yeah, they just look weird. I don't know. I don't like the Flintstones looking like real people. It doesn't fit the characters. But I don't know. I mean, we could be nitpicking a little bit, but these are beloved characters by a lot of people, and people like us who grew up watching these guys. It's just kind of a strange, I don't know, kind of a strange
Flintstone.
new look for
Meet
them.
the Flintstones.
But if you have seen it and you have an opinion on it, we would love to hear from you. We will also, like I said, I will post the pictures, so the covers of the new comic books, so you guys can check them out and tell us what you think about them. Let us know if you think DC is butchering the Hanna-Barbera universe, or if we are digging way too much into this. So I don't know. Something that I know we're not going to dig way too much into, and I know Ryan is really excited. So excited that he did not wear pants for the show.
Yes, I took when Brian told me about the video.
Well, tell him
I
what the video
literally
is
took
first.
my pants off.
Yeah. What is the video of, Ryan?
I turned it on. What's that?
I said, well, what is the video? You should tell the people what the video is of.
It's a new video game that's coming out called Conan Exiles. It's made by Funcom. It's the same guys that did Conan the Hyborian Adventures, I think. And in that one, it was like you could like slice off people's arms and legs and shit like that while you were fighting them. So all they did was the announcement trailer. So just basically just it's like a movie clip, not anything from the actual game. They don't really give too much information, but it's going to be an MMO. You can either play it single player or you can play it with other people on your private server or on public servers. It seems like you should be able to forage and like getting resources and build stuff. It seems like I don't know. I'm still
Well, yeah, they're
information.
calling it a survival game, and they said that you can build, live, survive, kill. I think is like the tagline. So I don't know. I'm pretty excited. It's going to come out later this year for consoles and PC. It's going to launch first on PC and then go to consoles. So I will get it probably on a console, but hopefully they have cross-platforming so me and Ryan can play Conan together.
Because we are going to make the Geek Dad Super Squad.
Yeah.
On the DC Comics game. So.
Oh yeah, we have not given up on that, people. We are men of our words most of the time, and we're definitely making the Geek Dad Super Squad. All right. Speaking of Super Squads, DC Legends of Tomorrow is now on television, and
that was a beautiful segue, by the way.
Like that? So I feel like that segue made up for my really, really bad failed attempt at the Geek Dad Moment of the Week segue. But anyway, DC Legends of Tomorrow, it is now airing. If you have not watched it, I actually recommend that you do. It's a good show. But Stephen Amell hopped on Facebook today, as he is prone to do, and he announced that he is in fact going to be appearing on episode 6 of Legends of Tomorrow, sporting a very familiar Green Arrow goatee and missing his left arm. Anybody who follows The Dark Knight knows exactly what that means. So yes, future Dark Knight Returns, Oliver Queen, Green Arrow, is going to be appearing on Legends of Tomorrow, which, if you watch the show, they travel through time and different universes, so it's going to be obviously in the future, I'm guessing. But that is kind of cool.
I forget, how did he lose his arm?
I don't know if they ever said. I think Superman blew his arm off, actually.
Superman blew it off?
Yeah, because I'm, you know what? It's been a while since I've read The Dark Knight Returns, but I believe he was one of the people who was kind of resisting against the government and Superman, and that's how he lost his arm. So I believe it. I don't know if they actually showed it or they just kind of insinuated that he had lost his arm fighting Superman. I know he hates Superman, and if you've read that comic book, it's super awesome when he takes his boot off and uses his foot to launch a kryptonite arrow.
Pretty awesome.
And if you don't know what I'm talking about, pause the show, pull your phone out, go to Amazon, go find Frank Miller's The Dark Knight Returns graphic novel, and just buy it. And then immediately read it and thank us.
You will not be sorry that you made that purchase.
No, you will not be. It is, honestly, in my opinion, my humble opinion, it is one of the greatest graphic novels ever written. So, highly recommend that. But anyway, that's kind of big news. It's kind of fun news because Stephen Amell publicly went on record saying he was never going to grow the Green Arrow goatee. So, It's kind of, he seems like a fun guy on Facebook. He made the announcement, and then he goes, "The lesson is never say never." So anyway,
Now, do you think he grew a real goatee, or if they just put a fake one
well,
on him?
on the video he's growing. You can see he's growing his facial hair, but I don't know if it'll be thick enough or great enough for him. So Errol Flynn enough. So they may just may just glue on a fake one. I don't know. We'll see. It is Hollywood. Nothing's real in Hollywood.
Yeah, sure.
So we only got a couple more stories, so we'll just move on to them, I guess. No segue. Where did I go? Did I not get? No. Never mind. I just didn't click all the news. So, moving on. Speaking of going to the future, Ryan, if you ever want to go to the future, the best way to do it would be in a nice DeLorean with a flux capacitor.
And go 66 miles per hour.
66 miles per hour, and you need some plutonium or Mr. Fusion?
Yes.
But to get that, you actually have to have the DeLorean first. And so lucky for us, DeLorean Motor Company is going to start producing more DeLoreans.
I like this idea.
Yeah, so if your dream has always been to own a DeLorean and you've got $100K or less in your bank account, you may be able to buy a DeLorean in 2017. They hope to have 300 models, so apparently the company's not going to start up a new production assembly line. They have spare parts laying around, and their goal is they believe they have enough parts to make 300 DeLoreans. So,
so we just looked around what was left in the warehouse, and we're just gonna try and build 300 from everything that's left.
Yeah, pretty much. That's kind of what their goal is. So, anyway, 2017, be on the lookout for more DeLoreans. Let's see, what else we got here? Labyrinth.
Do we have any more news after that?
Yeah, we got more news. Mine just didn't get up on the pin, so now I gotta look at the phone. So I'm looking. If you guys see me looking down, I'm gonna try and be professional here.
We don't have any show notes, or I'm out of show notes now. So
are you? Maybe they didn't send them all. That must have been what happened. All right, so I'll move along here. Labyrinth is getting a reboot, people. So whatever.
Is it gonna be a reanimated David Bowie?
No, I better not be. That'd be weird. Fox, speaking of weird things, Fox has ordered a pilot for a TV version of The Exorcist.
That's interesting.
Yeah, I love when they take a 2-hour movie and turn it into like a 7-season show. Whatever.
Doesn't make sense.
We'll see. Let's see. News that is pretty cool is Thor 3 news, Thor Ragnarok news has kind of been surfacing. I'll talk about them a little bit here for a second. So if you don't want to know anything about it, this is all rumor news and kind of stuff that's been released. So take it with a grain of salt. But you've been warned. I will be telling it in 3, 2, 1. So apparently the rumored synopsis plot of Thor is going to be that Thor's hammer is broken and he's cast out of I almost said Aslan, out of Asgard.
Asgard.
Oh my god, it's been a long day. So he's gonna be thrown out of Asgard and and forced to go fight on this planet. Tell me if you heard this plot before. So his hammer's Mjolnir is going to be broken by Loki and Hel, Lady of Death or whatever, and he's going to be sent to a planet, a gladiator planet, where he must fight his way to become free again. And so, as Thor fights,
slightly familiar.
Yeah, as Thor fights through all the people, he gets to the champion, who happens to be big, green, and gets really angry and smashes shit. Yes, this is the plot from Planet Hulk. So, the long rumored Planet Hulk movie may actually be a real thing. We already know that Hulk and Thor are going to team up for what they've called a galactic buddy movie for Thor 3. It sounds like
pretty good.
Yeah, honestly. It sounds like the reason why they're going to do it is because they're going to borrow heavily from the Planet Hulk line. So the last we saw Hulk, he was flying around in the Quinjet after Age of Ultron. So a lot of people assumed he went into space. It looks like he may have actually just gone into space and ended up on this gladiator planet.
Well, sometimes Hulk just needs to fly around.
I don't even, honestly, to be honest, Ryan, I don't even give a crap. The idea of Hulk and Thor flying around the cosmos in a buddy cop movie where they just beat people up, I sign me up, man.
That sounds good to me, honestly.
Where's the money? I'm throwing it at my computer right now. Just
sounds better than 21 Jump Street.
Yeah, that was a funny movie, man. Say what you want. A little more Marvel news. So apparently Disney head honcho Bob Iger, whatever, Igor.
Dickhead old man that doesn't want
Yeah.
you to have girl toys.
Well, that's not. Well, it might be him. Who knows? I cannot confirm or deny that old Bobby, is stopping us from getting Ray toys. But one thing he's not going to stop us from doing is watching more Star Wars and Disney movies, or Marvel or Disney movies. So basically, he came out and said he sees no end in sight for Marvel movies or Star Wars movies, and that as far as he's concerned, they will be making them forever.
Yeah, because they make billions and fucking billions of dollars for the company.
Yeah,
so.
because they print money and everybody's on board. So not really a surprise, but anybody who's worried that maybe after Age of Ultron, Avengers Infinity Wars, we were going to see a slowdown of Marvel movies, that's not going to happen. And let's see, Star Wars, Marvel,
it's
I don't
gonna
know.
keep doing new people.
Yeah, and there's going to be even more Star Wars movies. So whatever. There's going to be oh, it was when I was kicking the Tauntaun. The Tauntaun got under my feet. Moving.
Damn Tauntauns.
Yeah, dang. You can never trust a Tauntaun. They sneak around like little furry ninjas. It's terrible.
All their guts coming out everywhere all the time.
Yeah, and they smell really bad. I don't know how they sneak around you. You could smell them coming from a mile away. All right, what else we got here? Showtime has renewed the new show Billions for a second season. I've watched the pilot. It's an interesting show. It reminds me a little bit of Breaking Bad, where everyone's an asshole. So I don't know. We'll see. I will watch a few more episodes and let everybody know whether you should or should not be watching it. But right now, if you do want to watch it, they've got a second season coming on Showtime. So check it out. House of Cards has also been renewed on Netflix for season 5.
Ready? They haven't even played the last season.
Nope. Apparently, they're really excited about it. I'm pretty excited about it. I'm about to start season 1, so I'm not too far behind.
Good job, buddy. It's good.
Let's see. The Napoleon Dynamite director, I forget his name, but he has been tapped to direct a Nickelodeon cartoon movie called Nicktoons. It is going to be starring Rocko's Modern Life, Rugrats, and Ren and Stimpy all in one movie.
What?
Yeah.
That sounds awesome, by the way.
Yeah. I watched 2 of those. I never watched Rocko's Modern Life, but I did watch Ren and Stimpy and the Rugrats.
You never watched Rocko's Modern Life, bro? Yeah, I don't know. I would watch it every now and then, but I didn't have to watch it.
Well, anyway, that's coming. If you're big fans of that show, no date when it's gonna come, but it's getting done right now. So,
Ren and Stimpy.
So our last bit of news is a little interesting movie that they're making. I'm not really sure what this is quite. I mean, I know it's about, but I'm not really. Okay. So
Spit it out, Brian.
I'm gonna spit it out. I'm still just scratching my head because this movie sounds so weird. I think I'm gonna have to go see it. So Joseph Fiennes has been tapped to play Michael Jackson. Joseph Fiennes. He is the white actor who played in Enemy at the Gates, and he's been on American Horror Story, and he's been in a lot of things. He is going to play Michael Jackson in a movie that takes place on 9/11 that. Supposedly, it's about the alleged road trip between Michael Jackson, Marlon Brando, and Elizabeth Taylor. So apparently they were somewhere when the 9/11 attacks happened, and they could not get a plane back to California, so they all got in a car and road tripped it. And this movie is apparently about the alleged story that happened, and apparently it's pretty funny. I don't know. It sounds so weird that
sounds terrible.
Yes, but it also sounds kind of awesome.
No, it doesn't sound kind of awesome. It sounds
the studio
terrible.
who's making this is under a little fire right now for casting a white actor to play a black, real life black person. But I will say in his defense, when Michael Jackson, before he died around 9/11, when he was still alive at that time, he was. I don't know if you could call him. His skin was fairly white. I think it'd be much more difficult to get a black actor to play Michael Jackson at that point in his life than it would be to get a white actor to play him. So.
Yeah, that's true.
So I don't know. But anyway, that is going on. So right now that's a little controversial. They're receiving a lot of heat. Now, don't get me wrong. Hollywood does tend to whitewash movies a lot, but I don't know. If you think this is another case of Hollywood whitewashing, let us know.
As long as they don't do it with like the Jackson 5,
Yeah.
then I think it's okay. Just make the Jackson 5 all white people.
Yeah, well, I mean, like like I said, this movie sounds so weird. Why not cast Joseph Fiennes to play Michael Jackson in this movie? I don't even know what to say. Anyway, but that is all the news we got for you guys. There you go. Hope you feel more knowledgeable and informed. Yes. Because, this is the one show dedicated, formulated, specially created to keeping you guys in the know and talking about dad experiences. Or mom. Yes. Parent. We are celebrating parenthood.
Guys on movies.
This show's a train wreck.
Well, should we jump into the comics now?
Yeah, why not?
You want to finish your drink first?
Why not? I don't know. All right. On that note, yeah, Ryan, I'd love to jump into Comics You Crave.
Well, this week, we decided to go with a comic from IDW Publishing. It is Ghostbusters International #1. The writer is Eric Burnham. Yep, there's the cover. And the artist is Dan Schroning.
Second cover.
Let's see. So the synopsis goes as thus: that there's something strange in the neighborhood, and whether that neighborhood is New York or Venice, Italy, which we'll get to, the Ghostbusters will be there, and so they, after a bust of the United Nations, blah blah blah. So, basically, this comic, this is the first issue, and for it being Ghostbusters International, they haven't really gotten to the international part yet.
Mm-hmm.
Other than they were at the UN fighting a ghost that was like a big bowl with all these people shouting, or all these ghosts shouting no or something behind them. But I honestly, for a Ghostbusters comic, I really enjoyed it. I really liked the artwork. It was kind of like a mix. It seemed more like a mixture of modern kind of style with a little bit. I don't know. I don't want to say it. It did look really updated to me for being a Ghostbusters.
It looked really updated, but I also think it had a fun little mix of the '80s cartoon that some of us grew up watching for Ghostbusters. Mm-hmm. But yeah, no, I'm with you. I really actually enjoyed this comic a lot. I will say this comic did a really good job of telling you what's going on in the Ghostbusters universe. So this is a good entry point if you haven't been reading all the other IDW Ghostbusters series that they've been running. So it jumps you right into what's going on in the Ghostbusters universe. It gives you good data as far as like, hey, this is what all the characters have been up to. This is what's happened in previous issues, and get you caught up for an ongoing series. And it takes place in the Ghostbusters universe. It's
Yeah, I really liked it. I liked how the story. I'm really kind of interested to see how the story goes, especially since it seems the first issue doesn't get to the international part until the very, very end. I was really kind of taken back. Like you said, it did feel like it was kind of like the old cartoons that we grew up with, mm-hmm. And I kind of actually appreciated that just because I love the Ghostbusters movies, mm-hmm. But the Ghostbusters cartoon was the stuff that I really watched. Like I watched a lot of the cartoons, and I don't know, the artwork by Dan Schroning. I hope I'm saying his name right. It was colorful. It wasn't dark or anything like that. Everyone had really good looking lines. It did look kind of cartoony, but I think it really fit with the Ghostbusters universe. And the story is, like I said, I'm really interested to see how to develop it. It's one of the first comics in a while that's not, Conan or, something that I'm already invested in that I actually want to get invested in. So.
Yeah. No, it's a great starting point. I haven't read any of IDW's previous Ghostbusters stuff, so I was really happy, like I said a minute ago, that they gave so much information. I really felt like this was a great launching point. I'd like to know what the international title is for. Like you said, they didn't do a very good job of explaining that part of the series, and they didn't quite do a great job of setting up exactly where the series is headed. But for number one, I mean, it it hit all the right notes for the most part. I mean, it was fun. The best part about this comic is that the Ghostbusters, for at least for me anyway, the Ghostbusters are the Ghostbusters. I mean, these are the characters that we liked in the movies, and they're definitely the characters we loved in the cartoon series. But they were all right on point. Just their pauses and the way that they were in the movies, and even their own distinct looks. They look like the actors that played them in the movies for the most part. So a lot of times,
did it seem like to you that they kind of aged them only slightly?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, this seems like a story that could have taken place right after Ghostbusters 2 or right during the middle of the cartoon run that they did. So they're not really that old, but it definitely feels like a continuation. It feels like there's some history there. I mean, they don't really reference much of what the movies were, but they still have the firehouse that's under construction, and they still have the costumes, and they still have the banter, and they all still do the same things. There's some new additional team members on the team now, but yeah, I mean, but it's very much Ghostbusters. And what I liked about this is a lot of times I'll read other licensed comics that don't do a great job of captivating the license that they're using. So like they'll take a character, they'll say, oh, we want to continue on this movie in comic book form, but they don't do a good job of capturing that character or telling a story that makes sense in the universe of the movies. This story definitely feels like it could fit right in with the rest of the movies, and the cartoon and the characters. So I was really excited for that, and ultimately I really liked the book. It was a little slow. I would have liked to see a little more action. I think there was only one scene where they fought ghosts, but actually fought some ghosts. There was some interesting, like you said, there was some cool setup with these old ghosts that were sitting in this room that nobody knew exactly what they were. So that was kind of cool, but it felt like a movie. The dialogue moved slow. The dialogue definitely moved like it was part one of a bigger arc, and you can tell it's an ongoing series because it wasn't in a real hurry to get anywhere, which isn't a bad thing. It definitely is laying some groundwork for future issues. But if you're a Ghostbusters fan, I would definitely recommend getting this. I mean, it's a good part of the Ghostbusters universe. It's all the characters you love, and you can continue the stories. Considering we'll probably never get these Ghostbusters again in a movie. I know we're getting a Ghostbusters all-female.
Yes,
movie,
we're getting all female cast, but
yeah, but we probably will never get Venkman and Stantz and Winston, and definitely not getting Egon again. But in fact, I will say a little side note. Egon was written so well in this, it really kind of made me sad that Harold Ramis had passed away. It kind of reminded me that we lost him, and it was like,
I don't know. I started reading that, like I got about halfway through, and when it finally clicked on in my head, like he was actually dead, the Harold Ramis, and I did like stop reading for a second. I'm like, oh shit, I totally forgot that,
Yeah,
Egon
passed. And so I guess that's about, it's one of the best compliments we can give. I mean, you just, the creators did such a, Eric Berman did such a great job writing the character that it reminded me so much of the original character that it kind of made me sad for a second. So, but no, it's a great comic book. I recommend it a lot. If you're not a diehard Ghostbusters fan, you can still find a good, it's a good read. It's a good entry point. You're not lost in all the previous lore. IDW did a great job of not trying to cram too much into this or trying to make you read all their other ones. They let you know what they have, and they say, hey, this is what happened, but this is a great, launch point for going forward. So, yeah, I mean, if you don't like Ghostbusters, you're probably not going to like this comic. There's nothing new about it that's going to make you go, I hated the movies, but I'll give this I mean, it's Ghostbusters.
It's 32 pages. It's $3.99. You can get it for a digital copy from idwpublishing.com, or you can go to your local comic book shop, or I'll try and slap in a link that you can click and you can buy it to have it delivered right to your house. So
yep. So if you like Ghostbusters, me and Ryan definitely say buy it.
We ain't afraid of no ghosts.
We afraid of no ghosts. And even if you don't, well, if you've never read Ghostbusters, definitely buy this and read it. Check it out. It's a cool comic book. In fact, it definitely makes me want to read some of IDW's other Ghostbuster books.
Yes, definitely.
All right.
Go buy it.
Good job, IDW.
We approve.
We approve. All right, moving on. Q&A. We got some fun questions today that we will be talking about.
I would like to apologize for the lateness in getting the questions posted up. Like Brian said, it was a long freaking day for all of it. I didn't get home until like super late.
Yeah.
And kids' homework and dinner and all that fun stuff. So
Yeah. If we're complaining a lot, I don't know what to tell you.
yeah.
It's a crappy week this
Just
week.
one of the days.
You know, being an adult, sometimes you just got to deal with shit that you don't want to. Thank God we have this show, and thank God we have the Faithful 50. You guys are awesome, and you guys give me and Ryan an excuse to get together, drink, and talk about our days.
Nice.
Hopefully we entertain you. Maybe.
Yeah.
Possibly.
Well, we will now because we have some great questions. So.
All right. Yes, this is the part dedicated to you guys. You guys, we love you, and to show that we love you, I'm going to start reading some questions. Maybe.
Anytime now.
Sorry, I was looking at Twitter. Nobody responded on Twitter.
Oh, damn you, Twitter.
That's all right. We will beat the Twitter wall down until they finally respond. All right. So, first question is from Phil. Of course it's from Phil.
Yes.
Loyal
we love
Phil. Phil responded, by the way, to some of the, we actually had, for the first time ever, we had a lot of follow-up to some of the questions that we had. I had a couple people follow up to the answers that we gave them. So when we're done with Q&A, I will go over some of the follow-ups that we did.
Okay.
So if you want to follow up, feel free to hit me and Ryan, and we will continue the conversation from the previous episode. So Phil, he said he recently watched Neverending Story with his son. It was one of his favorite kid fantasy movies when he was younger. He'd like to know what movies from our childhood, not named Star Wars, good call, Phil, are we most excited to share with our kids?
Oh, man. I would say Neverending Story is definitely on that list.
Mm-hmm.
I want to show my son and daughter The Princess Bride.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I love that movie. I mean, I loved it when I first saw it for Andre the Giant because I was like huge into wrestling at the time when I saw the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Shoot, what was the other one? I was thinking about it the other day. Like, I wanted to put it down on my list of stuff that I wanted the kids to enjoy.
Well, while you're thinking, I've already showed my kids Hook. They loved Hook. Willow. They loved Willow. Who Framed Roger Rabbit? They love that one. Let's see. What am I? Oh, a couple ones that I'm really looking forward to. Indiana Jones. I can't wait to show my kids Indiana Jones. They're still a little young to get some of the humor, and they're definitely too young for Temple of Doom. So I will give them a little.
Pronounce hard.
Kalima. You know, that movie's highly underrated. That was actually a much better movie than people.
Dude, I love it. I got the whole set. My son, my 8-year-old son, was looking at it. He's like, "Dad, when can I watch these?" I'm like, you know, you're almost there. I think like maybe a year or two. I think you'll be able to handle it.
They are all great, but you know, whatever. Back to the Future. I'm really excited to show them Back to the Future trilogy, so that'd be pretty fun. Ghostbusters. Show them Ghostbusters as we talked about a minute ago.
Yes.
I don't know. That's about it.
Yeah, that sounds like a good list for me too.
Yeah, I'm sure there's more, but if you guys have a movie that you would like us to. That you think we should show our kids. Don't say movies like Full Metal Jacket. We're not showing those to our kids.
Yes.
But if you have a favorite movie that you're excited to show your child, let us know. We'd be more than happy to continue the conversation. So thanks for your question, Phil. Do you have a follow-up? I think you had a follow-up. Oh, yeah. He want to talk about Deadpool. We'll talk about Deadpool at the end of the show. We have some cool special announcements for everybody about Deadpool. Let's see here. Phil also comments that he liked our crap or craptastic show from last week. So
thank you, Phil.
Segment. Yeah, thanks, Phil. I'm glad you liked it. Thanks for the feedback. All right, moving on. Chris from Washington. He wants to know, would DC ever be willing to make an R-rated film? He wants to know if Deadpool does well at the box office, if this is a possibility. His suggestion he would love to see a Killing Joke live-action movie.
Oh, man. You are just going straight for the rated R.
So I've heard rumors that if Deadpool does well, Lobo might be on the table for DC.
That would be interesting. I don't know a lot about Lobo. I kind of know like it's just like a barely enough.
So Lobo is a character that's so crazy he killed everyone in his own planet. I mean, Lobo is DC's answer to Deadpool. And Wolverine, honestly, to an extent. He's basically indestructible. You can't kill him. He can regenerate from a single drop of his own blood. which I don't know how he killed all his own planet if he himself can be regenerated, but he's an intergalactic bounty hunter that rides around on this like space bike. He doesn't need like a helmet to breathe in space. I don't know. He likes girls and he likes killing people and smokes cigars all the time. So,
that sounds good.
Yeah, I mean, he'd be a fun character. I don't know if he'd be as fun as Deadpool. I mean, Deadpool is perfect for what they're doing, you know, what Fox is doing with Ryan Reynolds. But I don't know. I think Deadpool has to be a huge success, like a monster success for anybody else to take a chance on a R-rated, you know, mainstream property. There are actually a lot of rated R comic book movies. Kick-Ass is from a comic book movie. The Kingsman is from a comic book movie. So there's a lot of comic book properties that have been developed into rated R movies. But The Road to Perdition is a lesser-known graphic novel, Tom Hanks movie that came out a while ago. It's a rated R movie. So there are rated R movies. As far as, like, are we going to get a rated R Batman? We are never going to get a rated R Batman ever.
No.
Ever. Doesn't mean that we can't. Doesn't mean that studios can't push the limit. Violence right now is not nearly frowned upon like it used to be. You just can't get boobs and the F word, but other than that, you can get a lot of other stuff in there.
You can't swear, but you can blow people up and kill them.
I feel like when Ben Affleck and DC, the current regime right now, when they finally do a standalone Batman movie, it's going to be much darker than we're used to. But no, we're not getting any of the mainstream characters in a rated R movie. We're never going to get the Killing Joke in a live action. We are going to get it animated, which will be pretty cool. And from what I'm hearing, it's going to be pretty dark and pretty faithful to the comic book. So, you know, we have that to look forward to.
I'm looking forward to seeing that one.
I will say, me and Ryan are pretty much lockstep in this, that the DC animation is amazing and it is pretty dark. If you want rated R properties, DC animation's about your best point.
Go get the DC animated Flashpoint Paradox.
My God. That's so
amazing.
Yeah, there's like adultery and heads getting chopped. I mean, Wonder Woman chops off Aquaman's wife's head.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty brutal. So, if you're holding your breath for a rated R DC property, I can't think of anything other than maybe Lobo off the top of my head that they would do. Same with Marvel. I really think Deadpool is kind of a one-shot deal. I mean, DC's doing Suicide Squad. It's PG-13. If you're going to get a rated R movie, that might be your best bet to do, and they're not doing it. So
get the DC animated ones. Start with Flashpoint Paradox, and you will be happy.
Forget that. Start with Batman: Mask of the Phantasm. Amazing Batman movie. Still, in my opinion, the best Batman movie. Anyway, so sorry, Chris. Probably not going to get too much rated R. That being said, go see Deadpool because I want to see. The rumor is, fingers crossed, that if this does well, the next one's going to be a Deadpool cable movie.
Oh my God!
Or possibly.
Don't even.
Dude, or even possibly right now, Ryan Reynolds is poking and prodding Hugh Jackman for a Deadpool Wolverine movie. Hugh Jackman said that he was planning on hanging up the claws after Wolverine 3, but a Deadpool Wolverine rated R movie may entice him to do it one more time. So
that would be pretty fucking awesome.
Go see Deadpool, everybody.
Yeah. If you want if you want to see a whole bunch of grown men just like start squealing like little girls, then yeah, Deadpool could set off a whole bunch of movies that would just make that shit happen. Like, you know what?
Deadpool Wolverine or Deadpool Cable would cause me to just go into a nerd
I would literally just not wear pants at that whole screen.
I may have to retract what I've said about Fox Studios in past episodes.
Yeah.
That being said, me and Ryan are going to be bringing you guys a huge Deadpool spectacular show. I am going to the screener, as many of you have sent me hate mails about when you found out. Ryan may also possibly be going to the press screener next week, so we may have some. We are definitely going to be having a Deadpool themed show in about 2 weeks, but we may have a lot more Deadpool stuff to talk about. So something to look forward to.
Yeah, just a little thing to show you guys how awesome we are.
Yeah, pretty much make you guys super jealous. Lastly, Brian from Washington. He has a really, really good question. He wants to know, what comic book movie or storyline do we wish would get made but hasn't been made yet?
Man.
An actual correct Age of Apocalypse. That's what I would love to see made. a real, fateful Age of Apocalypse movie done by Marvel that incorporates the Age of Apocalypse storyline as it is in the comics and not the crappy Bryan Singer storyline.
How about the House of M? That was a kind of a good one.
That was a good. Well, you know what? At this point, I'll take any X-Men storyline that's not
I know
done by Fox.
the only thing that I can think of are X-Men storylines that from a while ago.
All right, Ryan, check out this magic. I'm going to combine 2 listener questions into 1 answer.
Okay.
Chris and Brian, as much as I would love Age of Apocalypse, I would also love to see a rated R Spider-Man Maximum Carnage storyline.
Ooh, Maximum Carnage.
It would have to be rated R, considering Carnage went down Broadway and killed every person on the street before Spider-Man got to fight him. So, yeah, that would be awesome. Spider-Man Maximum Carnage. Boom.
There you go.
Never going to happen, but, you know, hey, whatever. Probably not even animated, because Marvel just apparently doesn't believe in animated.
And I think they're, at least from the movie standpoint, I don't think they're going to be doing that anymore.
Yeah, probably not. Well, they actually, if anybody does like Marvel animation, they did some movies back in the late 90s that were actually pretty good and worth watching. They did a couple of Avengers movies, and they actually did a Doctor Strange and Iron Man movie. So if you want to know a little bit about the Doctor Strange storyline before the movie comes out next year, go watch the Doctor Strange animated movie. I believe it's on Netflix, but if not, you can pick it up for pretty cheap. It's a pretty good movie. It's about an hour and a half, and it tells a lot of the story of Doctor Strange and kind of gets you set up for the movie. So check that out. We teased this a minute ago that we had some follow-up for some questions last week. Last week, Phil wanted to know about stepping in, what's worse, stepping in kid poop or dog poop at 3 in the morning, and we said he was a bad parent, and why is this kid running around without a diaper? So Phil took the time to directly respond to our answer.
Because he is not a bad parent.
He is not a bad parent, and he wanted to make sure we clarified. So I will now read Phil's response. A little clarification. My kid pooped on the floor as we were doing the mad dash to get him to the toilet. He pulled off his Spider-Man underwear on the way, and a turd fell out.
Nice.
All this happened at 3:30 in the morning while I was getting ready for work. Number 1, you work way too goddamn early.
Yes. Number
2, I don't know. I'm sorry that we accused you of letting your kid run around with no pants on.
Yes, and I will retract my statement.
Yeah, we are not too big to post a retraction, and we are retracting our previous statement that you were a bad parent for letting your kid run around with no pants on at 3:30 in the morning.
Yes.
That being said, it's still worse stepping kid poop than dog poop.
Yes.
Any day. And the other follow-up we had is last week, Einer from Washington wanted to, he asked a question about swallowing, how dumb do you have to be, I think he said, to swallow your own beer tab after you pull it out and accidentally stick it in your beer.
See, and I thought he was mostly kidding.
Yeah, I thought that was a joking question, or that he had drank it and then like pulled, I thought the tab he showed us was he pulled out of his mouth. Apparently, Einer had gotten back to us and let us know that no, it has been lodged in his throat for 8 days.
So I would further like to retract my statement. I can't remember what it said, but
Einer, we are not laughing at you. We are laughing for you. So apparently, he also followed up that he had already had a scope shoved up his nose, down into his cavity to try and find it. They couldn't pull it out, but they hit it. So they're gonna give it some more time to see if it comes free, and they're gonna pull it out if it doesn't free itself. So,
oh my God. I cannot believe that.
Yeah, that's crazy. Einer, our best wishes out to you. Hopefully the beer cap.
Yeah, hopefully. Can he sue them?
Is resolved speedily and without major surgery.
Yes.
And all we could say is switch to bottles.
Yeah, and sue them, and then we'll take 10% of your earnings.
Yeah.
So.
I had a criminal justice degree. I know lawyers. I don't know. That wasn't really relevant to that, but whatever.
Yes.
It's been that kind of night. So anyway, Einer, full recovery, and keep us updated onto the beer cap bottle watch 2016. We want to know. We cannot afford to lose any viewers / listeners.
Yeah. We cannot have the faithful 49. Okay.
Yeah, and
That's the faithful 50.
yeah, we cannot have the faithful 49. It's got to be the faithful
We've
50.
already trademarked it, and we've like started
call,
merchandising on it.
It's a good point. People, trademarks cost a lot of money.
Yeah.
And the faithful 50, the GDR faithful 50 is done. It's TM'd.
Yeah.
49 would cost us more than we have.
Yes. We put everything we have into this shit, okay?
We do. Everything. We give you guys everything. Like I said in the lost episode, Ryan pulled out his penis.
Yeah. It was amazing, by the
Should
way.
we call it the lost episode or the band episode? We should call it the band
That was
episode.
band episode, remember?
Damn that YouTube.
Yeah.
All right, moving on. Thank you, everybody who sent us a question. We appreciate your being part of the show, and like Ryan said, we apologize for getting our question ear up late. Next week we will dedicate ourselves to getting it up earlier, but thanks to everybody who did take a moment and send us something. We really appreciate it. And to all you slackers on Twitter who did not respond to my brilliant tweet, well, I'm not going to say damn you. Just next week do better. That's all I'm asking. Just do a little better. Just a little bit.
Yeah. So what do we got now? We got our recommendations, right?
No, we were going to do a rant.
Oh, yeah, that's
We're actually
right.
doing good on time, so I think we got time for a little 5-minute rant. It has been a while since me and Ryan have done a rant, and we hope it's good because the show's been awful tonight. I'm just going to throw that out there. So
It's been awful.
no, it's been fine. We have not had our normal energy because this week has beat us like we stole something. So,
Yes.
but we have a fun little rant. Unfortunately for me and Ryan and probably half of America, our kids have been sick because it's that time of year. Yay.
Woohoo.
And kids are like freaking petri dishes, and they bring all that shit home. So we figured we'd have a fun little rant about kids being sick.
I think you should start first.
And I will
I like
start
yours.
first. So, I get it, people. I understand. When you're a parent, one of the things you have to deal with is your kids get sick. I get it, man. Their immune systems suck. Everything affects them because, hey, their little bodies are learning to reject viruses. But you know what? Does that rejection, that learning to defeat the evils of bacteria, does it have to be so nasty and explosive all the time? I mean, seriously, when a kid vomits, it's never just like, oh, I gotta throw up, go to the bathroom, blah. It's like they come to you, they're gonna feel good, and they look right in your face and they just, bleh, and it's not like a little bit of vomit. It's like a goddamn dam has burst and a vomit flood is flying at your face. And you're just like, Jesus, make it stop. And you're like, oh, God, and this is flowing right in your face.
Pick them up, and you're trying to carry them to the bathroom because they're too stupid to go out to the bathroom in the first place. And they're still like, and depending on which way you picked them up, so if they are facing you, they're gonna try and like hold you or like hug you, and then they're gonna just like start throwing up all over you. But turn the other way, it's like wherever you point them, it's just gonna get vomit on everywhere. So you're
It's like a vomit super soaker. It's like you shake them and vomit just flies out. And they can't just close their mouth. No, they gotta like put their hand over their face like this so it starts spraying out sideways.
But then they go like this, but they always leave enough room. So it just like,
Ugh.
instead of being one stream, it makes it so it just starts coming out at other angles.
And no matter how many times they vomit, they always look so confused. It's like, why are you confused? Go to the bathroom. There's linoleum everywhere. You can puke anywhere you want to. Just don't do it on the fucking carpet. Why? I mean, the other day my daughter's coughing so hard she starts vomiting. We give her a bowl because she'd already puked once. Why does she come running into our room with hand over her mouth, shooting vomit out everywhere, and she's got the goddamn bowl in her other hand? It's like, puke in the bowl!
Clean.
Oh, what did you think it was, a hat? It's not a hat, it's a bowl. You puke in it. Ugh. And, don't even get started about, how about when it comes out the other end, it's just as bad, man. It's like a steady stream of nastiness, and they can never just get in the toilet. How you poop on a wall or the back of the toilet is beyond me. You're like, oh, I got to use the bathroom. Okay, they run to the bathroom, they get their pants down, and somehow they don't manage to get on the toilet. They point up in the air, and it's flying out like old freaking Faithful.
I have not had that issue. I've had throw up all over like the wall.
Oh.
Because like my son, when he throws up, like he'll get like 3 feet of space between where he's throwing up and the toilet. So he's like standing straight up and just and it's like shooting as far as he can. Like, and so the last time I grabbed the back of his head and I shoved his head down toward the toilet.
God.
Because I'm tired of like cleaning up the shit.
Why is it always green?
And I shoved it toward the toilet. He's like, don't put my head in the toilet. Like, well, don't throw up 4 fucking feet away from it.
Why is everything always green? Vomit, diarrhea, snot. It's always green. The bathrooms, the floors, the bedrooms. They look like you murdered Swamp Thing, cut off his head, and sprayed green slime everywhere.
I don't know why, but kid vomit smells so bad. Like my
smells.
daughter threw up she's in her bed. It's like, oh, I threw up in my bed, and we opened up every window in her bedroom in dead winter. Opened up every window, closed her door, and it was still like the whole upstairs of the house, just fucking disgusting.
Ugh.
I slept downstairs on the couch because I didn't want to be up there for the smell.
And it's not just that; it's always explosive. Whenever a kid's sick, it's never just sick. It's always explosive diarrhea, explosive vomiting, explosive coughing, explosive snot rockets, and they never cover their mouth. They always want to sneeze right in your face. Oh, can I have a hug, Daddy? Sure. You just right in your face, and you're like, oh my God, I swear to God. It never fails. Next morning you wake up, guess what? Eyes swollen, throat hurts. You know why? Because they just snotted in your mouth, and you're like, God. I love being a parent, but this is something they do not fucking prepare you for in parent school. Oh, hey, guess what?
You're never going to be prepared for the times when your kids are throwing up.
When your kid's sick, there's going to be snot everywhere, dripping off their face. You can't ever wear anything nice. Oh, you got your nice shirt on? Sure, I'll give you a hug. Daddy, I love you, as they rub your face down your front of your shirt. And you got the snot trail that looks like an X. It's like, oh. Ugh. Anyway.
Fucking kids.
Oh, God. My daughter came out the other day. Daddy, I don't feel good. I was like, what's wrong? I pooped. Okay, well, what's wrong? She turned around. She got poop all down the side of her shirt. I was like, oh, Jesus. Why? How do you get poop down the back of your shirt? I don't understand. It was like between the shoulder blades. How is that even possible? And again, don't get me ear infections. You sneeze and you get an ear infection when you're 6.
Mm-hmm.
God almighty. Their chicken pox get chicken pox. Anyway.
I think that was a good rant.
Yeah, we love our children. We understand being sick is part of being a parent, or dealing with it being a parent. But God almighty, does it always have to be so nasty? Why can't you just be like, I got the sniffles. I'm good. I'm going to school. See you later.
Yeah. Give me some kids' Tylenol. And I'm good to go.
If you have any fun explosive diarrhea question or stories of your own, we'd love to hear them. Not really.
Yes. No, not really. We've lived through.
Yeah, we've lived. We don't need to hear your awful stories. I'm sure Phil will send us some. All right, moving on. Last segment. Recommendations, Ryan. What we should or should not waste our time doing this week, or somebody else should waste their time. My transition's been terrible. I had 1 good one and 5 bad ones tonight.
Well, it's all right. I recommend Agent Carter. It's on the 2nd episode.
Nice.
It's
on the 3rd.
The 3rd. Oh yeah, that's right. The 3rd episode.
It's a 2-episode premiere.
And it's one of the few shows that my wife and I watch together. It's kind of like a nerdy, kind of show. So I'd say this season's pretty good so far, and we're finally getting to more Howard Stark in it, and I love his character. I don't know. It's Agent Carter. It's a really fun show if you like, the powerful female characters. So, I don't know. Agent Carter, I recommend you guys watch it.
All right.
And it's good until Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. comes back. So.
And Agent Carter is a show that you can watch with your significant other as well, Ryan.
Yes. They will like it because the girl's not dumb.
Yeah. Peggy's awesome.
Peggy is awesome.
All right. I agree, Ryan. Watch Agent Carter. for this week, I actually have something that I recommend you shouldn't do. So I finally finished Star Wars Aftermath, a book by Chuck Wendig. I think that's how you say his name. This is one of the first books that they released that takes place after the new movie, or that takes place after Episode 6, Return of the Jedi, and right before, kind of tells what's happening before Episode 7. It was heavily, I don't know, advertised as this is what happens after Return of the Jedi. I can honestly say that it's a big tease, man. There's not really that much after. There's nothing in this book that I had to know that made my viewing of The Force Awakens even any better or even remotely knowledgeable. I mean, I don't know. So the war's not over. That's true, I guess. And they got the Death Star in the background. Why? I don't know.
Got blown up.
It's not a terrible book. It's an alright book. Basically, it follows a new cast of characters. There is Wedge in it, Han's in it briefly. There's a few characters from the movies that we do know, but mostly it's a whole new cast. Takes place in some new planets. It basically tells the story of a small group of the Empire trying to figure out what to do after the Emperor's fallen, and they're trying to make, they're trying to restructure the Empire and make another stand, or try and figure out what they should do with the New Republic, who's freeing the rest of the planet. So it's an alright book. I don't want to make it sound like it's all bad, because it wasn't. There was characters that were cool. One of the characters, Timon, I didn't really like him that much in the book, honestly, but he is a character from The Force Awakens. He's one of the X-Wing pilots in the movie, so there's a little bit of a tie-in directly to the book, to the movie. But my favorite character is probably Mr. Bones. He's an old battle droid. I think the Roger guys from Phantom Menace, but he's psychotic and kills people, and he's a pretty fun character. But ultimately, the book just never really grabbed me. I mean, I bought it in September, and I'm a huge Star Wars fan, and I read as much as I possibly can and try and get through all the canon, and it's January, and I finally finished this book. So it never really grabbed me. I got down to the last 8 or 9 pages, and I still was like, I'll finish it tomorrow. It just, if you're heavy into the canon and you have to know every single thing that's official, then, pick it up and read it. It's not a bad book, but if you are just want to read a good Star Wars book, this is not really the book for you. I mean, one of the things that I was a little disappointed on, honestly, is I read all the old stuff, which is now the legacy stuff. And they had some great standalone stories that didn't feature Luke or Han or whatever, but they were really good, gripping stories about Jedis and the universe and things that were going on. This was just never really that gripping. It was kind of like in my opinion, it was a lot of a throwaway story that really didn't matter that much to what was going on. So It had a few characters that were all right. There's 2 more books. I'll probably read them just because I've already started this one, and I enjoy reading all the canon. But I would have to say, unless you are a diehard who wants to know every bit of the official canon, I would have to say pass. The book is slow. It's fairly dull. There is some good moments, but there's way more slow moving moments than there are good moments in this, and it doesn't really fulfill the promise of a really great tie-in to The Force Awakens. So, unfortunately, I was very disappointed. I was really excited about this book. It's not bad, but it's not great. Unless you're a big fan, pass.
So I'll be waiting until you let me borrow it.
Yeah, I'll send it to you in the mail. Well, that's about it. That's all we got for recommendations this week. So thank you for joining us for another episode of our fun little show that we like to do.
But we do have a special announcement.
Oh, yeah. Is this our Deadpool thing?
Yes.
All right. Well, since you did all the hard work on the post, I'll let you announce it, Ryan.
Thank you very much. So I have secured 1 pair, so 2, VIP tickets to the Seattle Deadpool advanced screening that is happening next week, next Thursday, February 4th at 7 p.m. In Seattle. And if you want to win the pair of VIP tickets, you need to go to the Watch Play Read or check out our I also put it up on our Geek Dad Report Facebook page. Just go to the post that's on Watch Play Read for the giveaway, and all you have to do is put a picture of yourself killing Mr. McFluffy Pants, which would be a stuffed animal of your choice, and you have to do it in the most Deadpool way possible. And all the details are up in the post and everything like that. So send us a picture and put a hashtag of Geek Dad Report, so that way we'll know you're one of the special ones.
One of the faithful
And,
50.
Yeah, that way we'll know you're one of the faithful 50. And I'm the one that's choosing all the winners. And if I see anything Geek Dad Report or faithful 50, don't tell me. No, but I will probably be way more on something else.
As a bonus, I am going to be at that screening. So if you already know me, I'm going to be drinking a beer and having a little pre-movie food. And if you don't, you can come hang out with me. And if you don't know me, it'll be your chance to meet one half of the Geek Dad Report for the first time. I will shake your hand. I will say hi. And we can talk about all kinds of nerdy stuff. And I will gingerly guide you into the movie theater, and you will get to bypass the long-ass line that I guarantee you will be there. And you can be all, oh, I'm fancy pants. I got a VIP section given to me by the Geek Dad Report. And you can skip and go right in. Just to let you know
how many, we gave away also, I think, 80 general mission tickets. And so there's 80 people just from Watch, Play, Read that are going to be standing in line, crossing their fingers, hoping that they got there early enough to get a ticket. But we're giving some people, you don't gotta stay in that stupid ass line. So
yeah. Well, and if you want an example of what's a decent picture, we've already had on the Watch, Play, Read post. We've actually had somebody submit something from Portland that's a pretty good picture. So
let's just
give you a decent idea of what you can expect. We also shared the post on our Geek Dad Report Facebook page, so if you aren't familiar with Watch, Play, Read, what's wrong with you? You should definitely like the page. But if you don't or you haven't, you can always find it on our page, which is on Facebook at Geek Dad Report. You can actually also find it on our Twitter account, which is Geek Dad Report at Twitter.
So enter the giveaway. Come go see Deadpool with Brian. He's going to take a picture of me. And that way I will be represented as well.
Yeah, so. And also, you know what we'll do for our Faithful 50? If you are one of the Geek Dad Report Faithful 50 who gets to go, if you win the tickets, we will also take a little fun selfie together, and we will post it on the Geek Dad Report Facebook page. Boom. You can be part of the Faithful 50, everybody. Officially. Bam. Dropping it like it's hot. So we definitely have that to look forward to. Me and Ryan are going to be giving out our full reviews in a couple episodes. So next week I'm actually going to be seeing Pride, Prejudice, and Zombies. So you have that. Everyone can look forward to that review coming on our next Geek Dad Report. So that is something else that is in the pipeline. Everybody can be excited about. What else? What else we got? We got anything else? You can find us on Twitter, Brian West 53, Big Bruiser.
Yep.
You can find us at Facebook, we already mentioned. Podhell.com.
Podhell Media.
Yeah, go to podhell.com and like the page on Facebook and check it out. We've got a whole bunch of new shows that are pretty exciting. We got about, 8 shows now that we're working with?
8 or 9 shows now. Chris, or Xtifer, has been working extra hard on expanding the podcast network. And there's another geek show on there. A couple of shows that are centered on pop culture and
some
anti-religion.
And some political religion themed shows that like Utah Outcasts are on there as well. So there's a little bit of everything. So check it out, podhell.com. Like them on Facebook, and you can always find us there as well if you like the audio only version. We're also on iTunes. Don't forget to subscribe and leave us a comment. We love your guys' feedback. We don't ask for anything from you guys, so if you guys want to leave us some feedback, it definitely helps our show grow and helps us get that giant castle we talked about on the last episode. Yeah. So,
and remember, the Faithful 50 will be rewarded.
Faithful 50 will be rewarded, and if we need to, expand that to the Awesome 100, we will do that as well. But we've already trademarked Faithful 50. We'd love to trademark Awesome 100. Also, one more little show note. We did last week switch our YouTube channel to the Geek Dad Report. Geek Dad Report, it's its own YouTube channel. So when you watch this video, please click on the little down button and hit subscribe. It definitely helps, and you will always get our shows when they air. So you will not have to wait for them. So we appreciate everyone who spends some time doing that and has spent some time with us. We love you guys. We
Thanks for
appreciate you
listening,
guys.
peeps. We're going to go play with our lightsabers now.
And we're going to go play with our lightsabers right now.
Yep. And then go to bed.
Yeah, pretty much. On that note, Geek Dad out. Huh. Look at that. Gonna play?
I remember coming up, not even a buck, ain't even a cent to make enough. We was out there chasing after stuff that you only find in your dreams or the nights when you're looking up. And I remember so many times it was looking tough, so I wrote an extra rhyme when I took the bus, cause I knew there'd be a time that would open up, that I get a chance to